Hey, iWaited family. So this is Mimi, and I'm back with another installment of Men in Waiting, and I have a special guest today. So today I'm here with the Worth the Wait guy, Jimdre Westbrook, and I'm so excited about this interview. And I've seen him a few times all over the place, and I think you've even been on Steve Harvey's show. So I'm really excited about interviewing him today, and I really think that this interview is going to be a complete blessing to you also. Jimdre, if you can just go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us how old you are, and just give us a little bit about what you do.
Sure. Well, what's good, everybody? My name is Jimdre Westbrook, a.k.a. Worth the Way Guy. And I'm originally from Saginaw, Michigan, but I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been in Vegas for now 11 years, and I'm 34. So when I kind of came out to the world and said, hey, I'm a 30-year-old virgin, it's been 4 years on this long journey of mine in the spotlight. But I'm definitely blessed to be here today, and can't wait to, go through this interview with you.
Awesome. So give us a little bit about your background, like were you raised in the church, anything like that?
Sure. So yeah, I definitely was raised in the church. Me and my sister, mom and dad, so two-parent household, born and raised Baptist. And just like most Black folks, we went to church every Sunday, did vacation Bible school during the summers, Sunday school before service. Really wasn't a singer like that, but I did the choir, also was on the usher board, and we even had like a puppet ministry at church. So I was in that, what I mean?
Puppet ministry, what is that?
So yeah. Shout out to anybody from the Saginaw, Michigan. Zion Puppet Warriors. Like before the Golden State Warriors was hot, it was all about the Zion Puppet Warriors. And it might sound like some real soft stuff, but it really wasn't, man. It was really cool. Like, we made the kids laugh. It was a lot of church songs and like stuff that was really, really hot. But what was really cool about the Puppet Warriors is that I started miming. So I got liking into doing that around, I think, middle school. I kind of grew up as I won't say a quiet kid, but I was more reserved. I wasn't really loud and in your face like that. But the miming kind of brought me to the spotlight, if you will, kind of one of the first times I had to do things alone, because I'm more like a team player. I want to see everybody win. But when I did a mime, it was actually Mariah Carey's Hero. So it was something that really touched people, like made people cry every time I did it. So, being, a Zion Puppet Warrior and doing the miming stuff, man, I think really got me comfortable with even doing the Worth the Way guy stuff, because low key, the miming was my first ministry. And I didn't even know it. Like I was just a kid doing something that people said I was good at. But now being older, I can see that, man, God is kind of, he already made my plan for me that ministry was going to be a big part of my life. And, it took me about another 20 plus years to see that he already planted that seed years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. So what would you say has shaped your convictions as a man?
Oh, I think first and foremost, it started in home. My dad is my role model. That's my guy. I'm cool, but he's like real cool.
Right.
Like he's just someone that I love, and I'm glad that I had him in my life. So I definitely think it started at home. And, I had a lot of other men in my life that helped me along the way too. So people in Saginaw, Michigan, like I said, I give a lot of credit to my hometown, Saginaw, Michigan, who, I saw a lot of people doing the right things, even though Saginaw really isn't known for the right things. Very small inner city, kind of like a smaller Detroit, if you will. But for me, it was like, yeah, you saw some of those bad things and you knew some of those people who were even doing bad things such as drugs, gangs, violence, that type of stuff. But, I had friends as well.
Okay.
And a lot of friends that kept me on the straight and narrow, because we were all about the right things. We weren't perfect, and we still ain't perfect.
Right.
But we were about education. We were about, sports. We were about, getting basically up out of the hood and trying to make a better life for ourselves. So I had, like I said, a lot of people that I could look to within my inner circle or just in my town.
Mm-hmm.
I also looked up to people I saw on TV, you know, certain athletes, certain entertainers, and that kind of helped and molded me into somebody that I am today. So I give a lot of credit to my hometown, Saginaw, Michigan, because there were a lot of good Christian men that could wrap their arms around me and show me that love.
That's awesome. So your parents are still together?
Yes, parents are still together. They've been together for a minute. I should be a good son and give you the exact year on how long they've been together, but it's been a while, and I want to say they're celebrating I think their 40th anniversary next year.
Wow,
If I'm
that's
not mistaken.
awesome.
I think it's 40 next year. So yeah, they're still together, man, and having that inside the household, you know, I saw firsthand of something that I wanted. So
Right.
that definitely was a good reason for me to say, you know, mom and dad, you know, they got it. I want that, you
Right.
know, and, you know, that's one of the main reasons why, you know, I'm still waiting right now.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about like what you do in terms, because I see that you have businesses or a business at least. So what are some of the things that you're doing?
Sure. So one of the things that I do outside of Worth the Wait Guy, I'm co-owner of Live at Your Own Pace. And if you guys can see, I have a shirt that says Live at Your Own Pace. I even have a few tattoos that say Live at Your Own Pace. And it's a lifestyle brand for men, women, and kids. So This is something that I've been doing for 13 years now. I started as an intern. I was the first intern of the company when I was in college at the University of Michigan. Mm-hmm. And worked my way up to co-owner. So this is something that has always been inside my heart. I'm the type of kid that always wanted his own thing, his own business. Mm-hmm. I know that it was unconventional then. I mean, a lot of people are entrepreneurs now. Right. But, you know, I was on that train years ago because I saw people kind of like Dame Dash, you know, Jay-Z, Diddy, Russell Simmons, people, you know, from the inner city who look like me, talk like me, you know, act like me, and they got it, you know. So I thought that was a cool thing to say. What makes them different than me? Right. And they came, quote unquote, for nothing and made it happen. So that's one of the things that I do on a day to day is help run the clothing company with my business partners. Okay. So I got that. Shout out to Andre, Thomas, and Greg for that. Other than that, you know, I do a few other things. I've also written a few books. 3 books, part of my hashtag series. So hashtag feed your mind, hashtag love, open your heart, and hashtag purity, save yourself. So those are just books where there's 60-day, you can say devotionals to where I give you an original tweet of mine and ask you questions about that specific tweet. So like I said, one focus is more on kind of, you know, your brain and how that works. The other more so on that heart and how love is, you know, a big part of us. And then lastly is the Purity book, which I think is my favorite book. Yeah. Really talks about, you know, that self-worth that I believe all of us have inside us and can always get, even if you felt that you have lost it or you're not waiting now. Like, it's never too late. Right. So just to name a few things, those are some of the things that I do as far as the business is. And then, of course, Worth the Wait Guy. You know, that's a brand that, you know, the Lord has blessed me with that initially, as I said, I didn't see it as a ministry, but it took me a while to see that, man, like, this is a ministry. It's just not a brand. So again, you know, I'm just so blessed to be able to interview with somebody like yourself and to be on the Steve Harvey Show, as you mentioned in the intro. Like, this wasn't part of my plan, like at all. Like I don't think anyone could plan some of the things that I've been able to do. And, you know, I'm very, very blessed and humbled by it all because like I said, I just didn't see this for myself.
Yeah, God is so awesome. He is so awesome. So what would you say has led to your choice to wait, like remain a virgin, because you're 34? And I mean, I'm sure there are lots of virgins, but we don't hear about men, especially men, talking about the fact that they've waited and they're saving themselves for marriage. So what has led to your choice to wait?
Well, yeah, I think it's one of the things that I always wanted to do. At 14, when my mom's was like, yo, we need to sit down, we need to have this talk. You're going to high school, you know, basically you're going to have sex. And when you have sex, not if, when you have it, you need to be safe. You need to wrap it up. And, you know, I don't want you to bring any babies into this world when you're not ready, because I'm not ready.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of how the talk went. And when I was like, well, you don't have to worry about saying any of that stuff because I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Kind of looked at me crazy, you know, because she just thought that I was being the son that is just saying all the right things.
Right.
I was like, but no, like, I actually believe this at 14. Like, nothing happened to me. You know, people are like, well, what happened? You must have, you know, something crazy must have happened to you. It's like, nah, it was inside my heart. Like, you know, I know it sounds corny and rehearsed, but I've always kind of been that kid that made decisions, and I was self-assured.
Yeah.
And that was one of those decisions where I was like, man, I can do that. Like, I knew it would be hard, but I was like, in my eyes, I said, hey, I'm only gonna have to wait 10 years because I thought I'd be, you know, 24, marry my college sweetheart, big time job, we start the family. So, and you know, I was just doing simple math then, where it's like, I'm not gonna have to wait that long. So I could do this. But literally, we're talking 20 years since that date. I believe she told me we had this talk in August of in '98.
Right.
So next month will be 20 years from when I had the talk with my mom. And yeah, it's been quite the journey. And I'd be the first to let you know, I am not perfect. I am not a saint. I know people see that virginity and see a halo. But trust me, my halo's tilted. You know, and I have sinned, and I wish I haven't done anything. You know, I'm 34, and I know the minute you start doing something, it just, you know, it's a snowball effect. And trust me, I've been the snowball that has done this. And, you know, since I've repented and I have surrendered, you know, haven't done nothing for years. But it's that's how it started, man. I had to talk. I knew I was going to do it by not doing it, but I just didn't know it was going to take 20 plus years. Right. That's something that if you told me back then that I was going to be talking to you right now at 34 and I was still waiting, I wouldn't believe it.
Right. Wow. So one thing I noticed is that when I talk to virgins, quite a few virgins, a lot of them have struggled or been challenged with pornography. Is that something you've ever been challenged with?
Yeah, of course. It's something that I've been challenged with because it's the easy route.
Right.
You know, I feel that, you know, with virgins, and I'll just speak for the male virgins, even though I do know this happens for the female virgins, is that you kind of think that that's the better solution.
Right.
That if I do this because I ain't doing that, like I'm good. Like, you know, me and God, what we got, our little covenant thing, we good.
Right.
But we're really not. You know, with the whole pornography thing, it does a lot to you, and you don't see what it does until almost it's too late, because there are really no external, things that happen to you where, oh, if I, dabble in porn, my outer body is going to do something, or my appearance. It's not about that. It's your heart. That's really what it starts messing up. And, you have a diluted, I think, perceptive of what women are and, what they represent. Right. And you're throwing all types of, just unnecessary pressure on yourself, unnecessary pressure on the person that you will eventually be with. And the expectations are just ridiculous, man. And before you know it, you want something, or at least you're in, you're doing this act that ain't got nothing to do with your purpose. Right. It has nothing to do with it. So, like I said, I'm not perfect, and I have definitely been there before where I thought I was helping my situation. I thought by doing that and, getting that release, at least I ain't, doing what I could be doing out here. Right. You can't play that game. I think when you try to play that game, you're playing that game wrong, and that's a game that you're going to lose every single time. And trust me, I've lost that battle more than enough. But as I said previously, you know, since I've gotten over that hump, I've given it all to God. I've literally been hands-free. Like, hands they ain't going nowhere. You know, they ain't touching nothing. I'm doing nothing. As long as I've been hands-free, I've had, you know, I've been doing it the right way. And day by day, and it's doing the right thing, and not, like I said, not putting that unnecessary pressure on yourself, because, you know, that can become an addiction. You know, that can be something that ruins your life, just like alcoholism, just like abuse, just like, you know, popping pills. It's the same thing. And, you know, I say through God, I've gotten over that to the point where, like I said, I don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, us as virgins, that's something that's a very slippery slope.
Right.
And it's an ugly slope. And like I said, by the grace of God, you know, I've been able to get over that and be cool.
Amen. You need to put that on a t-shirt, hands-free, hashtag no more porn or something. I was like, that's funny.
Hey, seriously. I've been working on something, so it's coming. I got a couple. I wanted to kind of throw that at you to see how that was going to work.
Yeah.
So yeah. Trust me, I got you.
That's awesome. Good. Okay, so when you put it out, let me know, and I will definitely help you promote. So, in your season of like singleness, would you say that you're like kind of just surviving and hanging on, or are you thriving?
I say a little bit of both.
Okay.
I've seen the areas in which I was thriving. I felt that, and it's honestly, I've been thriving through it all. But when I hear that question, I think it's both, because it reminds me of something I said just yesterday. I preached at my church, Downtown Faith, and I normally am not the preacher that goes up there. I'm not a pastor, but my pastor does give me opportunities to speak to the congregation. So I shared the ideal on yesterday, and I talked about joy and how our general idea was that, you know, in order to get that true joy, there has to be some sacrifice. And, you know, that's how we get new life. So I think, to answer your question, it's almost a little bit of both. So, you know, in this whole waiting and in this whole thing where there's some suffering, if you will, I feel that that's kind of that surviving part where we're going through, we are waiting. Sometimes we may feel that, you know, we're not getting everything that we want from it. So it just seems like, man, I'm holding on by a thread, or man, like I'm very tempted to do something I'm probably going to regret. But I think, you know, it's always an answer of, I'm thriving because I know God. You know, I'm thriving because I'm here, and he hasn't thrown me in the river or forgotten me. Like, I'm here for a reason. I need to continue to follow my path and to follow him, and I'm going to get everything I need and want and more. So I think that I want to say, you know, I definitely am thriving because God, you know, has a purpose for my life. Like I said, he's done some amazing things since I've said, you know what, I want to just tell the world that I'm waiting. And, you know, this was a shocker to me, because when I initially did it, I just did it for me and him. Like, you know, to not sound selfishly, I didn't see what he saw in me. And I really am thankful and blessed that, you know, I still have somewhat of a platform and somewhat of a mission, and now a ministry to continue to keep on doing this. So, yeah, I think there has to be some suffering, those moments where we feel like we're just holding on, which we are. So that is that, you know, I'm just surviving out here, dog. Like, I'm just trying to make it. But at the same time, it's like, that's how we eventually get that joy. And that, you know, that love that we have for God, that's always. So no matter what happens, you know, it's essentially kind of shameless plug, but living at your own pace. You know, and your pace is God's pace. You can always thrive. You'll always be exactly where you need to be. So that's how I feel where I'm at right now.
That's good. Good. So how is dating life as a single virgin at 34?
I mean, ain't nothing going on, so that's how that is. But what I will say, 1,000%, that's on me.
Okay.
So I don't want to put it out there like, oh man, I'm a virgin. I'm 34 and nobody's, I can't get no. That's not the message I want to promote because I know as a virgin and as an older virgin, a lot of people see me and not even if they, once they hear me talk and kind of vibe with me, they get it. But if you just see me on Instagram, me with the cheese face and just smiling, you might think that, oh, this is just a cat who can't get none. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a dude who, he's whatever I think he is. And, he's got to have mama issues or he's too close to his sister.
Right.
Or is something wrong? He must be crazy. Or the big one, oh, he's got to be gay. He's got to be down. Is something wrong, So with me, there's nothing wrong with me other than I'm just like everybody else. I'm imperfect. Like I just so happen to be a 34-year-old virgin who hasn't had sex before.
Right.
So with me, I've been really focusing on, what God wants for me, man. And I know I'm going to find her, as I call it, when I'm supposed to.
Right.
Trust and believe. I have pressed to try to find her and to kind of mold her into women that I probably should have never gotten their numbers and, even went on a date with or, brought them home and, they met their parents and tried to marry certain women, never proposed to anybody, but projected these things onto gorgeous, beautiful women. But I wasn't ready. Like I was trying to, make something happen out of nothing. And I think I needed to kind of stay on that path. I needed to do the things God really wanted me to do. And as I did those, I would get closer to her. I think that, a lot of times I would find someone and, not even ask God, is this it? Kind of almost already thank him like, yo, thank you. This and it's like, dude, maybe you should kind of holler at him that, is this the right one? Should I proceed just within friendship?
Right.
It's something that I did not do for a long time. I skipped the friendship stage. Like if I thought it was fine and you kind of checked this little box that I used to have, hey, let's be boyfriend, girlfriend. Right. And after dating for a minute, hey, yeah, you must be the one because you still here. And that's really not how you, work a relationship that's going to last.
Right.
And I had to go through that. And matter of fact, I'm kind of telling my story right now by writing it out on my blog, workthewayguy.com, but Work the Way Guy Chronicles. A lot of people want to know, like, my story. How did you get here?
Right.
And now I don't want to say man enough, but now I'm free enough to say, you know what, you want to know, and I'm going to tell you.
Right.
And it's been like a beautiful story of letting people know how it even started. But then those trials and tribulations, those dating relationships that I've had, multiple, into where I'm at right now. So I think that, as I said, ain't nothing going on, but it's a good thing because I am focused on what God wants me to do. But at the same time, I am open to talk to women. It is not like I'm just shutting people out and I'm like, yo, I'm so focused, like, leave me alone. I'm very accessible on Instagram. I talk to people who hit me up like daily. And it's like, I don't have a publicist. It's not my little sister, like a little cousin. Like, it's actually me. So I definitely do think, when things happen, like, I am okay to, talk to a woman. If there's something and, we end up going on a date, that's cool too. But as of right now, definitely single, not messing with anybody right now. And, like I said, I want what God wants. I've done it my way and it hasn't worked.
Okay.
You know, it did not work. All the times I tried to do it my way, it blew up in my face. And now, like I said, I'm doing the God thing 1,000%. And so far, so good.
Okay. Awesome. So one thing I noticed is that I think for men, do you think men have to be more intentional in how they pursue women?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely, 1,000%. And that was one thing that I had to learn, I think, after not being as intentional as I should have.
Okay.
I was always a decision maker. I've always been one that if I like you, I thought in my head where it was like, well, if I actually like you and we're talking and I make you my girlfriend, I just kind of assumed where it was like, I'm going to be with you forever. Like, I'm just going to be with you because I'm actually opening myself to you.
Right.
Because I wasn't doing all of that other stuff. So it was like, well, because I'm actually talking to you, I like you. This is just kind of natural progression, if you will.
Right.
But that was when I was a little younger, high school, college age, probably even my, early 20s. But as I've gotten older, and especially over 30, I've been very intentional with any woman,
Okay.
if that's a friend, if that's wanting to potentially date or court a girl. Men, we have to be intentional. I think, from what I can tell, women like guys being intentional. They
Right.
don't have their time wasted. And
Right.
it's definitely been something of mine. I've even had a friend of mine, the last time that I even went on a date with a friend, great friend, we're cool. We went on a date. And after the date, it was like, you know what? That's not it.
Right.
And now it's okay because both of us want the same thing and we don't necessarily want to settle for something that God doesn't have for us.
Right.
So I think that, I've been pretty good at being intentional and stating like, this is what I like, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, and just kind of go from there. If you're a brother who doesn't know what he wants and is just out here just trying to do his thing, and I've been that guy, even in, my virginity state, it usually leads to nowhere.
Right.
And going nowhere is just not good. So I would definitely say, as a man who is waiting, being intentional is literally like step one. And I think if you can do that well, it'll get you to step 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then maybe you'll actually go somewhere with the woman you're supposed to go with.
That's awesome. Have you experienced any like backlash or negativity from like family or friends concerning the fact that you want to wait or that you're still a virgin?
I mean, it's probably been the usual, my boys poke fun at me every now and again.
Okay.
And the ironic part about that is the guys who probably do the most poking, we actually all 3 were virgins.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of made an informal pact in high school, like, yo, we're all going to wait, and that's just what we're going to do. And they knew that I kind of was a little more vocal about it. But with them, I didn't know it. So it kind of came as a surprise. And it wasn't, like I said, this ain't no 3 lames that are in the science club and things of that nature. Like, we were all, doing our thing, played varsity sports, student council presidents of youth groups, like popular guys who were like taking a stance in the late 90s, early 2000s that said, yo, we're all going to wait. And what happened is that within 6 months, it went from 3 to 1.
Wow.
And I kind of had to navigate my own way. And that's kind of what Worth the Wait God Chronicles is about. And if you want to hear that story, just read up on it. And I kind of let you know all of that. So, yeah, my boys who started it with me kind of every now and then will poke fun at me still being a virgin at 34. But outside of that, as far as family and friends, I say everyone else has been supportive, even though they're my biggest fans. Because if I said today that, you know what, guys, I'm out, I'm done, I'm going to have sex today, they'd be the first people to probably slap me across my head and be like, no, you can't, not now. You waited this long, you need to wait that out.
Right.
Like, you could have lost this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you need to keep going. So I have those people in my corner. My parents have been supportive. I know my mom probably does want grandkids, like most people. Most moms do, but you gotta wait.
Yeah, exactly.
I want some kids too, but I know that that's not where it's at right now, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, everybody's been pretty supportive.
Awesome. What are some practical tips or steps that you take to kind of maintain while you're waiting?
I'd say you got to know your triggers. This is something that Devon Franklin and Megan Good talked about in their book, Wait, which is awesome. And I recommend anybody out there who is waiting or who wants to wait, if you have not read that, check that out.
Okay.
You got to know what you like, man. And, as a man, I know what I like. So it's kind of one of those things where you probably need to avoid certain places where, if it's the nightclubs, if it's the bars, even social media, like you ain't even got to go nowhere nowadays.
Right.
Like whatever you like, it's out there.
Right.
And if you're looking for it, you're going to find it. So I think for a guy who is on social media actively, one of the things I do is I try to not follow any page that I think that I'm probably going to be on there scrolling and just looking and, creeping on stuff. Nah, like I don't even want that. And then, and for me, I can, be on social media and without blocking certain pages. But if you're out there and you think it's too tempting, block them.
Right.
Like you don't have to go look at that one girl that posts those one pictures that you just love.
Right.
And you don't want to like, because if you like it, people going to see that you liked it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even want to play those games. So you kind of got to know your triggers. And that goes for the ladies too. Like,
yeah.
Whether that's out there the same way, like we're all tempted.
Right.
It's like, don't even do that to yourself, baby. Like just slow down. If you got to block folks out, block them out. But I think you have to know yourself and know what you like. And like I said, we're all turned on by different things. We all are attracted to different things.
Right.
But I think one big thing for me, I know, especially since I'm on social media, is I try my best to not be on certain pages. And I know for me, I had to delete a lot of people because I had to check myself and be like, I'm following, some people I probably shouldn't be following. And they're not doing anything crazy, but a lot of it is just the type of pictures that post.
Right.
If I'm a guy and there's a woman, a very attractive woman, and like 98% of her pictures are just body pictures, that does nothing for me. Now, it can do something for me, but it's going to get me on a slippery slope. And before you know it, I'm doing something I probably don't want to do.
Right.
There's got to be some type of mix, some type of balance. You can have some selfies, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like, I need some Bible verses. I need some motivation quotes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is with family and friends, things of that nature. So I think for me, one big thing has been just knowing yourself and knowing your triggers and having some type of accountability, set up. If that's other people checking you to say, how you doing?
Right.
Have you been tempted with, what you've been on? I think that's good. Or even if you're able to kind of police yourself in a way, even though I would recommend having accountability partners, is actually doing it. Don't be like, oh, I've been good, for a couple days and then mess around and then, okay, my treat is to go on that page that I like or I used to like. It's like you can't even, it's out of sight, out of mind. You cannot play those games because if you play those games, and I've been there before, like I said, it just takes you to a place where, you're not your best self.
Right.
You're not who God wants you to be in those moments of when you feeling bad for yourself or feeling lonely or, feeling like tempted or, man, you can't do it, either in or you're out.
Right.
And I think you kind of have that mentality and that type of mindset to know yourself well enough to not set yourself up for failure.
Right. That's good. That's really good. So we'll kind of close out with this. What would you say to men who are waiting? Like, what words of encouragement would you give to men who are waiting and those who are thinking about waiting but are not sure if they can do it?
Yeah, my encouragement to the guys out there, I'd probably say that if you really want something to last with a woman, that this is the best move. I think that, getting it the other way, there's a lot of people that have not waited who are in successful marriages and
Right.
relationships. But, if you are a believer and if you, I think this is like the new thing, this is the thing that I think a lot of people, because they did it the other way and they've been heartbroken or, it's just doing the same thing and expecting new results.
Right.
That's the definition of insanity. So I think that if you really want something that can grow and you really get to know someone without, going in the bedroom and doing your thing and doing all of that, if you really want to get to know someone on a deeper level, I believe that celibacy is the way to go. I believe that waiting is the way to go. So my, encouragement to the brothers would be just do it.
Right.
Like just do it. Don't be scared. Don't think that, since I'm not going to be, having sex with her, she's going to leave me. Well, hey, if she is, she ain't the one, dog.
Right.
Like she's not the one for you. I think that us as men, we have to have a little faith in ourselves, but have even more faith in God that he got you. Like there. And here's the thing, for a dude, there are so many women out there waiting. So many. They outnumber us. It's crazy. They outnumber us. So I would say to the guys out there, if you think that, like I said, the one that you with ain't gonna wait, that's okay. Trust me when I say there are thousands. There are thousands, and just not, well, she's waiting because there are thousands of beautiful women out there waiting. Right. So I would just be encouraged. If you ain't listening to nothing else I said today, I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking truth because I communicate with them. I see them. They have my app, the WaitUp app. Like, trust me, there are women out there, quality women waiting. And I would just say for the brothers, man, just do it, man. Jump in the weight game, man. Like, it is room for you. Like, I'm not the only dude waiting, but there's a lot of room out here for brothers like yourselves that are maybe thinking about doing something different. Trust me, man, have a seat.
Yeah. That's awesome. So this interview was so good. And I'm so excited about the fact that you were really transparent and open with the men and just with the audience in general about, your experience. If you would just give us a rundown of like your websites, you talked about your app, just the different things that you're doing so everyone can know.
Sure. So I'll give you guys a quick rundown. As I talked about at the top of the interview, live at your own pace. If you guys want lifestyle clothing for men, women, and kids, you can holler at us at LAYOP.com, which stands for Live at Your Own Pace. You can also get at me for my blog, worththewaitguy.com, all spelled out, where you can read the latest Worth the Wait Guy Chronicles. There's videos, there's all type of good stuff on there, as well as the books that you can purchase for me. And lastly, I will talk about WaitUp app. WaitUp app is the first app out there that is for the abstinence and celibacy community. So if you're somebody who needs that community, you may not feel that on social media, or you may not have that inside of your personal world, come holler at us. We built something just for you. So you can see that there are other people out there, real people who do real things, and they're waiting. So that app is available in Google Play as well as the Apple Store, and it's called WaitUp. Exactly what it sounds, WaitUp.
Okay. Awesome. So guys, if you would, after you've watched the video, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, comment below. If you have any questions, any comments, concerns, definitely put them in the comments below. If you have any prayer requests, you can always email iWaitedblog@gmail.com. There are t-shirts, so you can go to shop.spreadshirt.com/iWaited blog. We're iWaited blog at iWaited blog on every social media site. And then also, as you guys know, I wrote a 21-day purity devotional, 21 days of prayer and purity. So it's available on Amazon, both in Kindle, physical copies. I think that's it. So anything else, all the information will be in the comment box below. And yeah, this was really good, Jimdre. I'm excited about this interview. And I thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. We finally made it happen. And,
yes.
This was such a blessing. So I appreciate you and all of your fans and supporters who will be watching.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.